Well, I'm just up ready to go to work. I'm not gonna lie, I just went to sleep anywhere. I just drove to the nearest place and went to sleep. That was the weirdest thing I ever went through, and I just wanted to end the day and start again tomorrow kind of a thing. It was like, I don't know what possesses this man to be out of his mind and do things you just should not do against God over what nothing. I know he was doing things against God, and there was no reason to be doing anything, literally. And it was like, oh my gosh, you're starting all these problems when you could just tell God, I'm not interested in being a husband. Like, it's that damn easy. God don't force you to be noble, and God don't force you to be amazing, and God don't force you to live on, and God don't force you, like, all he has to do is be like, death is better than God, and blah, blah, blah. Or I just don't want anything to do with God's anymore, and if I'm a good enough person, I make it because of my good choices or something. Like, you don't have to bring the death of the every cop nations over nothing. So I found out what was going on, though. They were so weird and ridiculous. So that husband was acting weird. I mean, I gave you the play-by-play. That husband seemed like he was out of his mind or some kind of whack job. How could you run a company and be such a whack job? and I'm expecting my husband, who can work for gods until running a company is nothing, and I'm getting all this whack job answer, weirdo people shit. And I'm like, well, I don't know, but you don't get a bunch of cops dead over a weird husband emotional trip where you want to be mean or weird or something. I mean, I get it. People get emotional and act weird, but don't cause the death of anybody over it or anything. Just treat me like shit because he's in a weird emotional mode or something and tell me to leave or something. Don't hurt cops or something over it. It's like, what is wrong with you? And then the United States started stalking me and getting all weird. So this husband acted all weird. Then the United States starts stalking me, like they do off and on all the time, and started getting all weird. And then I said, I'm going to have to do really mean, scary things to get you people off of and away from me. And the United States, babble, 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 I have a right to be threatening. Babble, 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 I have a right to call it terrorist threats and be threatening. Babble, babble, so I did the most sickening, death beyond death, mean, evil, horrifying things to them. And then they said, well, oh yeah, we're just human and you're God and we'll just shut up. It's like, I don't want to sit and pretty much slaughter your soul for a living until you just acknowledge God's God, humans are nothing, and a country's just humans. Like, oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with these people? But just when I was going to bitch and complain, a husband showed up from that's been watching me for a while. It seems like he's been watching me for a few years. And that husband that's been watching me for a few years, he said, listen to everybody. There are piles of people working with gods to help you or do anything nice for you. And then they have to pretty much disappear, or these countries will destroy them. And they will lose everything and disappear, just like everything and everyone. This country wants you to be dead or disappear. They are murder happy. They are convinced that they are God, and they want you to be killed or disappear. You are the problem. Their murder is just fine and happy. You are the problem. And they are willing to do just sickening things until people that love you, that want to help you in any way, have to get help from gods and have to learn how to help you and then disappear. So nobody can figure out that they had helped you. Like, pay attention to how weird or scary the actual situation is. And I was like, Well, if they have gods helping them, they should be having a pretty good time with it. Gods aren't suffering if they belong to me. Gods aren't having a hard time if they belong to me. I've resurrected. They have the power of my powers. If gods are good and they're going to live on with me, they're doing just fine. So why should I be so freaked out? And the same husband said, okay, if they're doing that good, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like even gods are scared and nervous and maneuvering these situations all the time. And I was like, yeah, they do go through everything the hard way, but that's just to learn to be more invincible. And yeah, they're gods. They'll sit and do everything like badass 007s, but it's just to help humanity to be bigger and better and stronger and be able to get through these situations like it's nothing. And gods are just going to think it's cool to teach humans how to join together collectively and win against countries and stuff. To feel like they made it better. And the best thing you can do as gods is empower the future and teach them how a country will be nothing if they're going to go this disgusting against things again. So, yeah, there's probably gods teaching people how to kick ass against countries because this has become gross and got too out of control. And it's good practice to be gods that are good gods, teaching humanity how to run it and kick ass and not put up with shit and on and on and on. Because humanity is going to have their own take on everything. Therefore, their own way to learn and grow from everything. So I told my husband, no, your logic doesn't seem to be helping me. I seem to think I'm logical, and your logic doesn't seem to help my brain understand what you're trying to say. And that husband said, actually, I think maybe I don't understand. I'll go try to figure it out, because maybe they are working with gods to act to be able to get through every nightmare the hard way, to make it easier for humanity not to ever go through things the hard way anymore. Okay, I don't know. So then he just left. And that's all that's happened. Weird. An argument with the husband, and then everything just disappeared. I had to do whatever it took against the United States. And then, like, everything just disappeared. And some husband whack job. You know, I'd have to admit, though, living in wacko world is a lot funner than living in, you know, every abuse that people can dish out everywhere you go. Waiting for one person anywhere that's just not going to do it. Although I go to the Dunkin' Donuts to give that lady I like the power of God for the holidays. And I showed up and told her hi yesterday. So I showed up and told the lady hi yesterday. I come to this Dunkin' Donuts to put the power of God in the area for her, predominantly in her holidays. She's a really nice lady. And oh gosh, excuse me. And I got pretty lucky. I got to just run straight to the bathroom. And I always just run straight to the bathroom to get it over with. I don't really want to make a big deal about how I'm going to go to the bathroom, because I don't want people gawking at nothing. So I run right to the bathroom, or talking too much. You'd be amazed how many people will just talk such crap the whole time you're going to the bathroom. It's like, wow, you know, that's really gross. Speaking of that, Circle K at Fred Waring and Monroe, they could not talk enough crap with the whole public while I was trying to go to the bathroom. It was horrifying. No, but so I got to go to the bathroom at the Dunkin' Donuts. Pretty uneventful, not bothered. I got to order my coffee and my bagel. I don't know if I ordered the coffee right, because I had to ask for a cold one. I think maybe I did it wrong. They were really nice and let me have the hot one and said, we're just going to throw it away anyway. So I was like, oh, well, if you're just going to throw it away, I didn't feel like hot coffee, but like, if you're just going to throw it away, I'll just take it. So I got extra coffee, and it was pretty nice. They didn't really harass or bother me. just basic statements about, wow, your life sucks and it's really sad to be you. And then somebody went through the drive-thru, and the person who went through the drive-thru had seen me sitting here. So, they were like, boy, what a pathetic, sad life or something. And the Dunkin' Donuts workers were like, yeah, she's got a pretty sad, pathetic life. Hey, this is a pretty decent morning episode to go through, because, it wasn't that brutally abusive or nothing. So let's hope, since I didn't go through the most brutally abusive Dunkin' Donuts in the morning experience, I might have a decent day. Maybe that's the good luck, that my morning's on a better roll than yesterday on a bad roll till the end. And it's the Dunkin' Donuts off Jackson or along Jackson. And I don't know. Another thing, a God told me, as long as you're standing, you're like the constant misery that they're not God, they'll never be God, and they'll never win against God. And it's like a constant agitation where they want you arrested or disappeared or something, because they can easily do that to anything and anyone. So some God was trying to explain that these countries could murder and disappear anything and anyone until they got high on their own power stink kind of thing. And I'm like the living reminder that God's God and they're nothing. And you would think it would make them full of proper fear of God and just stay away from me. But apparently, according to this God, it just makes them feel agitated and threatened because they think that they are God. So I'm the problem that needs to be eliminated. And it's like, what am I going to, I'm really going to have to kill these fucking things in their soul until they just can't do this anymore. And the God was like, pretty much. They're warped, they're weird in the head, they think they are God, and it creates nothing but problems. And really, they look at you like you're the problem. And they're mad because they can't figure out how to get rid of you and eliminate you as the problem. And they refuse to acknowledge when you attack their souls and make them give up and run away. So they believe they're God, and they will not admit when they're losing. And it's like, oh, great. Somehow they turn themselves into the biggest whack jobs ever known. I don't know. What do you do? If a God attacked me and I was just a human, I think I'd let go believing I was God and just go back to being a human. What? How? Well, they did murder millions and they did rape and murder constantly, massive piles of people. That ISIS was doing a lot of bad things, and they were the main problem, gorging out on murder and rape and stuff in secret behind it all. I guess when you murder too much, you really become weird. You would think people would keep enough of a brain that they have, a mentality about reality. But I guess not. I'm a good God. I'm not going to sit and figure out the mentality of a bunch of nutbag weirdos. I guess I'll just keep fighting until I win, I guess, or something. But that's my update. Because I knew children of God were going to be like, what the hell kind of weird messages? And children of God were praying and praying and praying. My queen, my queen, my queen. Do we even try to look for husbands to act like they're our daddies? Or do we stay away from them? They sound like weirdos. And then there was a bunch of children of God. My queen, my queen, my queen. Do we even trust that there is a dad that loves God and is normal? Because we just want to find a husband of yours to be closer to you and all the gods and God and Jesus and do normal stuff. That makes us think like something's wrong with these husbands, and now all we have is you again waiting for to be able to talk to God or Jesus through my queen, my queen, my queen. And it's like, yeah, this is not making people comfortable. To run to a husband as if he's the father of God and the ultimate safety and giant and protector. It doesn't make you believe the husbands are just as beautiful as the heavens and you can run to them for anything. It's like, yeah, sadly, I think I'm going to have to go back and rethink these husbands and figure out if some need to be weeded out. Because what made him act so weird? Like, maybe he needed to be weeded out and nobody did it. Here I go through the day.